Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. We're now live again in our second live panel for this convention. We hope you enjoyed your time today at Quantum SEAPonyCon Rewind, and once again, welcome back to the medium. For all of you who joined us since this afternoon, well, thank you for being with us all the way. For those of you who just joined us, welcome. And for all our returning vendors, it's great to have all of you here. My name is Saint Pinky, and I'll be going through Rewind Wrap-Up today as we take you through what happened today and also take a look at our plans for what's going to happen in the upcoming month. So first of all, I'd like to say that this was pretty much a pretty good successful test of our server. See, over the last few months, yes, we know we said we have a temporary outage back in May, but then, we really needed to look and see what we did with, what went wrong with the original Quantum SEAPonyCon. We were going to pay for the server and we wanted to make sure that everything ran well, ran correctly, ran as intended, and it didn't back in May. Today we had some minor issues, and luckily most of them got resolved. So one of the things we want to mention is that we are fixing this on the fly. We were listening to feedback, getting, nuances about our problems, what we had, what was the issue, and we try to fix them ASAP because this is our chance to get this server up and running properly for the future of SEAPonyCon. That means future events, future things that we will do right here in the medium. Yes, we'll be doing more things in the medium, and thanks to today's successful test run, we're going to be doing much, much more in the future. Now, we have a small team. And our developer team is actually really, really small, and they come from all over the world. We've got people in the dev team from France, from the UK, from the United States. And the issue with that is time zones are a thing. Time zones are a problem. And I'd like to apologize on behalf of Project SEAPonyCon for anything that we may have said that may have been, harsh, hurtful. We don't intend for it to be that way, but some things were very, really frustrating for us. We were trying to get everything working smoothly, and not everything went according to plan. And of course, given the frustrations of some of our developers, and some of us in the team feel it, the moment we get out of bed, we've already got lots of things to attend to. And most of us, some of us, not most, are still in lockdown. I'm still in lockdown. Some of our devs are still in lockdown. They have the issue of not being able to get access to many things. They are still stuck at home, and if you've been in a lockdown, you'll understand that it seems like fun, you get to stay home all day long, but there's a lot more to it. You got to really make sure that your life's in order while not being able to go out and get your usual stuff done. So for all of our team members who are braving this lockdown, thank you very much for your help. And again, to all our attendees, vendors, and more who may have been hurt by some things that we said, some of our harsh comments, some of, perhaps us being rude, in fact, SEAPonyCon would like to apologize for this. We really don't mean to be like this. And, it's hard to say that we don't tolerate this because it's human nature to be frustrated and angry at everybody, but I'm not making any excuses. We are sorry for what happened. Okay, so let's move on and let's talk about a few things. Some things weren't our fault today. Actually, we had issues with GitHub. That was an outage that caused some installers to stop working properly. Some of our installers, it pulls data from GitHub, and that service had issues this afternoon. Therefore, we managed to recommend a fix, which was to use the Technic platform instead, and this worked out for some of our attendees. And we would like to make sure that as much as we can, whatever's within our control works. So for this afternoon, well, it sounds unprofessional to blame GitHub, but we are blaming GitHub for that. Alternatively, now we know that we can recommend alternatives like the Technic platform to those who can't get our installer to work. Alright, moving on. For those of you who are watching from the medium but are not in our Discord server, please do join. It's at discord.seaponycon.com. Once again, discord.seaponycon.com. And here comes our first announcement for this evening. In the next few weeks, we'll be moving up to implement two-factor authentication security across our Discord server. Why are we going to do this? We are trying to upgrade our Discord to be able to be visible in Discord Discovery. In order to do so, all accounts need two-factor authentication in order to join the server, and therefore this security upgrade will be implemented in the weeks to come as we push towards trying to get our community more visible in the coming weeks. Alright, So also for those of you who did not catch our opening ceremonies, it wasn't really an opening ceremony. It's more of an opening address just to say hi. It's also where I learned I'm probably never going to sing that theme song on stream again because OBS will just never align the music with my singing for some reason I cannot figure out. Excuse me. Yeah, we announced, and it was a recap of the announcement we made last week at our 2020 Q4 announcement, that due to lockdowns, yes, again, we gotta talk about lockdowns, otherwise we'll all be in the same venue, not here in Minecraft. We would all be in the same venue watching this program. Unfortunately, due to lockdowns, Project SEAPonyCon has decided that we will not host a physical event until all 5 of our member countries, being Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Philippines, and Indonesia, all are able to freely travel between each other. I'm not talking about, green bubbles, green lanes, this reciprocal business travel arrangement and whatnot. No, we want to go back to the good old days of travel, to be able to transit freely between each country. And given the circumstances, some of these may be difficult to attain. Like right now, some countries allow transit, but with a 14-day quarantine period. Now, we can't be asking everybody to spend 14 days in quarantine to attend a 2-day con. It would be, a waste of money just to sit there in quarantine for 14 days before you can attend a con. And on top of that, some countries require that you pay for a COVID swab test if you do this. So in the visible future of at least a year from today, don't expect a physical SEAPonyCon. Now, we're really sorry to announce this. We hate that it has to come to this, but it's just not fair to our motto that a place for friendship shouldn't be for just one nation. If we go ahead with this pocketed in a country that's probably facing a lockdown or has very limited movement. Yes, we know we're a small con. We can squeeze by a lot of those restrictions that they impose on the size of events. But that doesn't mean we're going to use that to our quote-unquote advantage to host a con where people are excluded because of these kind of lockdowns that happen in this part of the world. And now that I've gotten that out of the way, I want to spare a moment tonight as chief of Project SEAPonyCon. And, people are saying, conventions and My Little Pony fans and the Brony fandom should keep drama, politics all out of the community. But I want to take a moment to highlight what is happening in Thailand right now as the people are trying to get their voices heard. There's a hashtag that's trending very wildly on Twitter about what's happening in Thailand. Please go take a look. We care more about our communities than just the people in it because politics affects us all. The US is about to head into a historic election. Malaysia's government collapsed earlier this year. So many of these impact our lives. And while SEAPonyCon wants to make a safe space, we do so by making sure we know what we're trying to make and we know about the political climate and the situation our countries are in. So yes, if you talk about politics, we care about politics. Not by choice because, it's by choice. Yeah, it's by choice because that's what we believe in to create a better community. Alright, my phone does not want to unlock. Just give it a second. Okay. So, let's move on for a moment. We've still got a lot of time. Wow, I'm really quick. It's only been 8 minutes. I thought I've been speaking for 20. Well, we'll be moving on towards later in the night as we welcome a replay of Thunderstorm Blockbuster. Thunderstorm Blockbuster was the first fully online iteration of Thunderstorm, our flagship dance party that we've been having at SEAPonyCon for almost every year except for 2019. We've had performers perform, their dance singles, their best music at our conventions. Every time that we had a dance party, we had an amazing dance floor, amazing feel, and everyone has fun. And we realized we missed this so much. So after this panel announcement, closing ceremony, or whatever you want to call it, head downstairs. There are some carpets laid out by our dev team where you can follow just downstairs of this hall you're in right now. If you're watching this from the Medium, the hall you're in right now, just downstairs of where you are, you'll be able to find stairs outside. Head down, and there will be a dance floor down there. And that's where, this evening, we will be streaming Thunderstorm Blockbuster Rewind, playing back the hard-hitting concert that broke ground on the 24th of May 2020 as we brought our dance party online for the first time. We've got some amazing musicians lined up. We've got AWOL from the United States. We've got BeatSpark. We've got The Taze. We've got Lavender Harmony. We've got Mr. Mester. And we've got Nick Droid. A global roster performing for you once again here at SEAPonyCon. Now again, this is pre-recorded, but You know, go there for the feel, go there to enjoy it, and we'll see you downstairs just after this session. It begins at 10 p.m. That's 40 minutes from now. Actually, 50 minutes. Sorry, my mathematics is bad, even though I'm Asian. And, of course, don't forget that at 6 a.m. UTC plus 8 Malaysian time, which is EC this Saturday, which would be today for you in this sense, we will be streaming the launch event of Ponies at Dawn Eclipse in our dance floor as well. So, catch you there as we celebrate the reopening of the medium. Now, we were talking a lot about what's going to be happening. Last week, we announced that we'll be doing an event every month until the end of the year. Today, we're celebrating our event for October. Now, I'd like to talk about our event for November. So, in 2018, we launched a project called Project Saffron. Project Saffron was an effort to reach out to the Indian community to find bronies within them. Now, this is something that we embarked on as a community because India is a nation with 1.5 billion people, if I'm not mistaken. It's the second most populated country in the world. And yet, how come such a densely populated nation with more English speakers than the United Kingdom and more people with internet access than there are people in the United States, how come we have not seen any significant brony activity from there? There is lots of brony activity over in China. Our friends at the Tianfu BronyCon and SEAPonyCon, as well as DreamlandCon, they have great events every year. In fact, Tianfu BronyCon is the first convention in Asia to take place after the outbreak of COVID-19. They had a successful convention back in August, which made all of us jealous. We all wanted to go, but we were under lockdown. Malaysia's under lockdown. We can't leave the country. But they seem to have had a successful event as they are now starting to open up their country and their economy. But unfortunately, because of the situation where we are in Southeast Asia for Project SEAPonyCon, we're not willing to take that risk just yet. So here with Project Saffron, we wanted to understand why we could find bronies from Pakistan, from Bangladesh, but India was just so hard. A Google search revealed one group on film fiction with just a handful of members whom we reached out to but were pretty hard to contact. If you're watching this, I don't mean to say that, but you are hard to contact. We started opening up our page and we had groups on WhatsApp, on Skype, and everywhere, and we fought through spam bots that picked this up and started posting nonsense in groups, and that paid off. We've uncovered communities in parts of India, but we still only have just a handful of bronies over in India. There's definitely more, and we're sure about it. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is dubbed in Hindi, which is currently one of the languages that is supposedly the official language of India, depending on who you ask. But India has over 20 languages, 20 official languages, one of them being English. Therefore, we really are stumped as to how a big country like India just doesn't seem to have a brony presence. You don't hear about meetups, you don't hear about cons, you don't hear about events. So, where are the bronies of India? We launched Project Saffron to find out, and along with Project Saffron, we launched a new mascot in 2018 by the name of Saffron Showers. You'll see her on the screen. She is a pony mascot that we designed for the brony community of India as a gift from us at Project SEAPonyCon, with the hopes that the Indian bronies can rally around her as a character that they recognize and can relate to. Now, if they already have a mascot and they have one, we really want to see it, but we haven't seen one yet. So we're hoping that this can reach out. But it's been 2 years. We revealed this at Fiesta SEAPonyCon at the City Beach Resort in Singapore in 2018, 2 years ago. And it's slow and it has borne fruit, but it's been slow. Therefore, today, we are going to try something different. Because we want to bring the magic to India for our friends there. Because, SEAPonyCon, Southeast Asia, there are plenty of Indians in this part of the world. I'm half Indian myself. And knowing that this community is almost invisible, we want to do something for them. Today, we announce Abhiyan SEAPonyCon. Some of you may have heard a little thing called Codename Mitrata in the last few weeks. This is what it is. Abhiyan SEAPonyCon will be India's first pony convention, taking place completely online. Now, India is also facing a massive lockdown. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi had to implement the world's largest lockdown as the coronavirus, ravaged through the country, and many people found it difficult to cope with this. But we are wanting to try to give some people hope in this sense. There are a lot of the bronies there that we know. I mean, not even a lot, just that group we know, are stuck at home. They can't go out. They've got nothing to do, and we're trying to bring this to them and also try to use this as a golden opportunity to reach out and find more. Now, what's so special about Abhiyan SEAPonyCon? Why not any other online conventions? There's so many online conventions happening these days, from Ponyfest to Midair to, BabsCon went online. TrotCon is going online. We've got, we had Brony Bash. We have the musical ones like Burning Mare. And there's no shortage of them. And I'm pretty sure they'll be back. And there's going to be more, given the situation that the world is in right now. But the first thing we realized why we even jumped into the online pony convention ring was, first of all, we wanted to bring the magic home. That's why we bothered going to this extent, creating a Minecraft server, because we wanted to bring, the feel of being at a con, not just this online Skype call, Discord call business online. But the second thing is, we also wanted to cater to our part of the world, to cater to the Asian brony community, our friends in this neck of the woods. Some of our panels, like Art from the Start that was airing earlier today, they were put together by a Filipino, a Singaporean, and an Indonesian was involved. Yud was kind of like their moderator and stuff. Not really a moderator, he was like the stream manager, but he was still involved in it. We had people from we had a Malaysian as well. Anticular was on that panel. We've got talent in this part of the world that, we really don't want to see waste away in this mess of a lockdown that these nations are having. So here's some differentiation points with Abhiyan SEAPonyCon that we'd like you to know. Now, this is a really difficult thing to navigate because trying to stream this to a 720 TV is tiny. Let me see if I can get that to work. Did it work? Yeah. You all have a better view of the screen than I. Alright. So Harmony 6 will return for Abhiyan SEAPonyCon. Now, here is where we want to stress that the con is going to be in English, because it's a worldwide con. Anyone can attend. It's not just for India. But we're looking forward to getting content to see if we can get even panelists and activity people run activities from India itself, if we can. If we can't, then, well, we'll put on a show for them. So one thing that we want to get is if we can get multilingual panels, multilingual activities that have English as a main language, but are also able to accommodate others whose first language is not necessarily English. So the adjustment for our audience is there, and it's also to do with the time zone. India observes Indian Standard Time, which is 5.5 hours ahead of UTC. Yes, 5.5. It's plus 5:30. It's a weird number. It's a weird state to be in. Like when it's 6 o'clock here, it is like 3:30 over there. I think I've got to do the math for that again. But yeah, it's half past when it's on the clock for some of us. So it's a bit weird. It's gonna be tough to accommodate this mathematically, but it's how we want to also make it easy for them, make it convenient for them, and make it more pleasant for our intended audience. But more importantly, I want to talk about vending at Abhiyan SEAPonyCon. Vending is going to be a little more stringent when it comes to the requirement that we will require for this. Why is my mouse not cooperating? Yeah, there we go. So Friendship Pro, which is our vendor system, will be on display at Abhiyan SEAPonyCon. Before I continue, Abhiyan SEAPonyCon is not taking place exclusively in the medium. In fact, it will be on our Discord server, which is, once again, discord.seaponycon.com. That's where we will be holding Abhiyan SEAPonyCon. And it's also where we will be able to gain more members in our community from India, because we are a global community as well. We are Asia's most diverse pony convention. And we want to bring that diversity to a whole new level, blow out of the water what we already have. So with Friendship Pro, Abhiyan SEAPonyCon, here are a few things that you gotta know if you would like to vend. First of all, you have to accept PayPal as a form of payment. You can accept more than PayPal. In fact, we're all for accepting alternative currencies. We've had friends at other conventions we've been to that took bottle caps a la Fallout style. We've got some that took cryptocurrency. We've got some crazy people who take various modes of payment, and we don't discourage any of that. But you must accept PayPal. If you accept any e-wallets that are available in India, even better. Number 2, we strongly encourage you to, no, not even encourage yet, you have to also accept payments in Indian rupees or INR. And this is important because this is the native currency of India. As we're reaching out to these audience, we would also like to be able to make them comfortable. Instead of having to brain how to convert to US dollars on the fly, listing your prices in Indian rupees would be optimum, and you should be able to accept that without conversion. I mean, you convert it on your end after the whole transaction is over, not like you give them a USD price and they pay an INR kind of thing. Because, we don't want to intimidate them with, it's not so much intimidation. We don't want to burden them with this conversion that has to take place in their mind. They're going to be our guests. This is how we want to make them feel welcome. And last, we also recommend that when you set your prices, you set them to round figures. So that means, if it's like, if you convert like $10 and it comes up to like 523.66285, just push it up to 550 or pull it down to 500 to, make it more pleasing to look at. It'll be easier to understand, and everyone will be able to, have fun as well. It's not like we want to do this to limit you as vendors or anything like that. We want to make our audience feel comfortable, to make our audience feel at home, and most of all, we want to share our love with them. So, let me just pull up whatever we have. Yep. So, that's a wrap for our announcement of Abhiyan SEAPonyCon. The website for Abhiyan SEAPonyCon currently is available at abhiyan.seaponycon.com. Now, Abhiyan has tricky spellings, ABHIYAEN. Now, because of this, we are going to push this to our main domain of SEAPonyCon.com in the coming week. The reason why we're not doing it now is because Quantum SEAPonyCon Rewind still isn't over. We've still got the concert coming up right after this in about 45 minutes. We'll be having a concert where BeatSpark will be kicking it off as we replay Thunderstorm Blockbuster from May this year. Now, let me just quickly check. Alright, I still have a bit of time. I'm going to run through all the performers once again and their time slots. Once again, this is in UTC +8 Malaysian time. Now, if you're in Bangkok or Indonesia, just subtract 1 hour. If you're in Kuala Lumpur, East Malaysia, Manila, and Singapore, this time is the same. You don't need to convert it. So at 10 p.m. Malaysian time, we'll be kicking off Thunderstorm Blockbuster with BeatSpark, who's from Australia. And they'll be performing for half an hour before the Taze will take over from the USA. And she'll be giving an hour before Nick Droid kicks in at 11:30. And then Lavender Harmony will begin at midnight, which is tomorrow, Sunday, the 18th of October. 1 a.m., AWOL will take over from the USA. And then we will have a staple from every iteration of Thunderstorm ever, Mr. Maester coming in at 1:30 a.m. And then at 2:30 a.m., we will replay this panel of Rewind Wrap-Up minus what I just said about the concert because it won't be relevant anymore. And after that, at 3 a.m., we will have a little get-together, and I'll hop into the Discord. I'll get my team to hop into the Discord. You can talk to us, give us our critique. We're not doing a full-fledged Roast the Cockpit this round because, again, this wasn't a full-fledged con. And we want to hear from you how we did in terms of fixing things up and whether you felt comfortable in the medium. The good news is, after this con is over, we see the potential, and we also see, let me just switch this back. We see the potential, and we see feasibility in keeping the medium running for good. Therefore, after this, we don't intend to close the medium until we need to do any adjustments or heavy maintenance. That said, we will also be attempting to stream Abhiyan SEAPonyCon into the medium when it happens, but this won't be the main place to enjoy it. The main place to enjoy it will still be on the Project SEAPonyCon Discord server. So everybody, thank you for watching, and it's been a pleasure to have you join us again today here in the medium. To those of you watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, thank you for joining us here as well. And the party is far from over. In fact, at 6 a.m. tomorrow, we will be streaming the Ponies at Dawn launch of their new album, Eclipse. It'll be streamed straight to our dance floor, so if you want to catch some new tunes and also jam out in a place where we all can be together regardless of any lockdown you're facing, we would love to see you. So 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, get up early, get into some morning exercise, and we'll all have fun as we celebrate the reopening of the medium. So friends, welcome home. We'll be setting up in a minute to get the stream handed over. And for those of you who are, have been streaming for a long time, we've currently got about half an hour until the next stream begins. So you can go fetch your dinner or breakfast or lunch or supper, depending on where you are in the world. I'm in a lockdown. I got the food to come to me. So yeah, half an hour. Enjoy the medium. See you later.